building Tier 2 of your inquiry web. Today you'll want to split screen your iPad so you have your SimpleMind mind map with your initial questions up and a Google search engine. Today we're going to build Tier 2, which is answering the first round question. So first start with one of your questions, such as which countries have the highest population of vets. We're going to be going onto the internet and looking for reliable resources that answer your questions. For example, when you click on the first link, you're going to want to scroll through and check, are there authors posted? If there aren't any authors posted, it might not be a reliable resource. Here I'm skimming through and I'm looking for any information that answers my questions, but I'm also keeping in the back of my mind, is this information coming from a reliable source? Does it seem like the person who wrote this is an expert in this field? Here I don't feel like there's enough information on the web page to make me feel like it's a reliable resource, so I'm going back to the internet to see what other options I have. This particular link is from the Smithsonian Magazine. Here, this is a published source, so I know it's something that I can use as reliable information. I'm going to skim through the article and look for specific information that answers my first question. My first question was, which countries have the highest population of bats? So I'm skimming for information that answers that question. So this is interesting. This is information about how Texas actually has a very specific cave, the Bracken Cave, which has the largest colony of bats in the world. Once I've located the information that answers my question, I'm going to select it all, and I'm going to be pasting it into my mind. To do this, you're going to click on the question you're answering and click on the plus button. You'll simply paste the information from the web source into the bubble. Here, I'm going to do something very specific. I'm going to click on the T and open up the text box, and under Notes, I'm going to record the source from which I gathered this information. We're going to use these sources later on for our Works Cited page, and also for our in-text citations. You'll notice once I import the source, I get a yellow dot on the upper right-hand corner of my box. That means I successfully recorded the URL, the source from which I gathered that information. I'm going to color code this bubble green so you can visually see how I'm building my second tier. My first tier is pink. Those are my initial questions. My second tier is green. These are going to be my researched answers. So we're going to be following through with the rest of the questions over the next 2 days here, Thursday and Friday. And we're going to be going on to reliable resources to find and collect the answers to our first initial round of questions. Here I'm seeing a .org. I see this is an organization that's working to protect bats. There's a lot of information about the authors contributing to this particular article, so I feel pretty safe that this is a reliable resource. Make sure you're exploring all of the buttons on your sources to get the information that you need. For example, this section here answers part of my question, so I'm going to paste it in. But I ended with an ellipses so I can grab some more information from some of these other areas of the web page. So my question is, why are bats necessary for our ecosystem? And here I'm finding information about how they are working with biodiversity, they're working as pollinators, for working as pest controllers and also as seed dispensers. So they reforest areas. So these are 4 different areas that all answer that same question. So I might want to click on one of these links and explore the information a little bit more in depth. So here I found some additional information. I'm going to copy and paste this over into my answer box. I'm going to put it in the same answer box, which is why I use that ellipses. If you see that your text box is moving out and it looks really wide, in the bottom right-hand corner there's a small little arrow pointing in, and you can use that to drag it back over and to consolidate that box a little bit. Here, I still feel like I have more information to collect, so I'm going to look at bats as pest controllers as well. That seems like it also answers my question. So again, I ended my box with ellipses because I'm jumping around to collect this information. And again, when I find what I like, I'm going to copy and paste it into my answer box. And here I'm going to end with ellipses one more time. I'm going to consolidate my information there. I'm going to look at bats as pollinators. Wow. This is new information to me, which makes the research fun. Hopefully you chose a topic that's interesting to you that you don't know a lot about so that you are discovering things during this process. And last time, consolidating over, and there we go. That's my answer box to my second question. And again, I'm color coding mine so that you can see the different tiers. Now again, please, before you leave, click on that T under notes. We're adding our source. Do not leave the web page without collecting the URL because we are going to be using that again in the future. So in that notes, I'm pasting in the URL that I visited where I found the information that answers my question. Please make sure you collect those sources. If you don't, it's going to be an issue later on when we go to create our Works Cited page. So when you finish, it will look something like this. You have 5 initial questions and 5 research answers.